host. Oh, the port is it
For
4400? Tom, Tom, what did you use as the port against my IP address? The bond amount can be anything greater than 2. Since we don't have cost accounting implemented yet, there will be a deduction of 1 as a bonding fee. So anything greater than 2 is fine. Choose your favorite number.
Kelly, I didn't specify a port when I did it.
Okay. So we'll try it without specifying the port. Just plop in the IP address.
Hello.
Hello there.
Good morning, Kelly.
Hey, good morning, everyone. We're going to get started here in 2 minutes. I'll go ahead and give some information, and I'll be a broken record for a couple minutes, but let's throw the link for those of you who are just joining. So there's the link to today's worksheet. Please, please take a look at it. It will specify for you what version we're using. Welcome to version 7.1. Giving it a run today. Also, we are testing a new process for bonding. So if you'll recall, last week we tried one on Tuesday, we used a different one on Thursday, and now we have a new and improved one that includes use of a faucet for today. And the instructions are, there are steps 1 through 5 for you there. And as always, if you are having trouble getting started, please don't hesitate to come off mute or use the chat window to get support. Happy to help you get started there.
What is the amount we're supposed to put in when we're trying to get our...
Yeah, it can be anything greater than 2. We don't have cost accounting implemented yet. So you need, and as you bond, you will have a deduction of 1.
So the amount is the bond amount. The amount is the bond amount. That's how much your bond amount is. And you can put in whatever you want because we don't actually have cost accounting. And the faucet will dispense that amount of token.
For someone who's trying to bond, we just created this block.
So we're using, in order to generate these files, we are using not our wallet private key that you gave in the other spreadsheet, but our regular validator.
That's correct. That is correct.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
We have a blockchain of 14 blocks.
do I have to deploy the forward fire first and then the bonfire?
That's correct.
If I do it in reverse, in the reverse order, will
not work. It will not work.
Okay. Thank you.
Do it again. Yeah, just do it again.
All right, we are at the top of the hour. This is a 1-hour testing session. We do plan to record today, and I see that's already taking place. So welcome to our Tuesday node session. We are using, we are taking node 7 for a spin this morning, or this evening, wherever you are. I'm putting in the chat window a link to today's worksheet. Please take a look at that. That will give you links to the installation package, the Docker image, and we'll provide fairly explicit instructions for what the process that we're doing now, which is we have a network. It has a Bootstrap node that you can connect to. We have some bonded validators on the network, and the exercise right now is for you to start your node, connect to the network, and then go through the steps. There are 5 steps total to get your node, to get yourself bonded as a validator onto this network. And so that's what we're going to be doing for the next few minutes. Just working through the steps on the worksheet. Feel free to come off mute if you have questions or run into problems, or use the chat window. I'm happy to help you.
Hello, guys.
Get started. Hey there. Hey, Phil. If you, once you are bonded, if there are contracts that you'd like to play with, bring them.
Whose IP address should we use to bond to?
You can use mine. I may put it, it's in the worksheet, but I also put it here in the chat window.
I'll put mine in too for you. And then anyone else who has bonded, please put your IP address in there. Then you can accept bonding requests as well.
Under the command for the deploy command, it has IP address, then :port. Do I need the :port to be separate from the IP address?
We've determined today that you don't. You can just plop in the IP address.
That's only in the event that the validator is using a different port than the default. But Kelly and I, in both these cases, are using the default port.
It looks like the command under step 1 might be missing the word run. It just has rnode -- default
Yep.
time.
You are right. Let me fix. Thank you.
No problem.
The bootstrap node is not the node, the validator.
That's correct.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Run command fixed in the worksheet. Refresh if you were following along. That's correct. No port needed. You can just make your deploy. For Meta and myself, we're using the default. Just deploy to the IP address. Okay, I created a block CE400 for someone. And 86 CEE.
Hey, this is Jack. Are you guys sharing your screen?
No.
Oh, okay. No wonder.
I have a question. If I deploy a file and another one deploy another one to the same machine, maybe Kelly, your is that going to work?
Yes. Yeah. I can take multiple deploys, and a proposal can include multiple deploys.
Okay.
You want to wait for a confirmation on the forwarder before you do a deployment of the bonding request. So wait in between to make sure there's a block proposal versus doing both of the deploys in the same block.
I don't know what my bond amount ought to be.
It needs to be anything greater than 2. It's we don't have cost accounting implemented at this time.
Okay, anything.
So,
all right.
yeah, you will see a reduction of 1 as you pay the fee to be valid to join as a validator. Your join fee. Created block EA0.
It's weird. No new deploys.
You should not be trying to propose unless you've already bonded. Have you bonded? No new deploys means that you had no deploys to propose as a validator.
Created a block 3527.
I have some deploys I'm proposing. I haven't received any deploys, so it appears that I got a deploy here. No need to
Created block DAD.
I think I just deployed to your IP address, Meta.
You did. Okay. Did you propose as well?
No. No, I didn't.
Interesting.
Do I have to do that?
No, don't do that.
I followed along happily through step 3, and I got response success when I was deploying, and I'm now noticing I don't have any peers in my regular running node. Is that a problem? That seems like a problem, right?
Did you have peers before?
Not today.
Did you? That's weird. And you connected to the bootstrap in step 1?
Yeah, I did. I'll continue debugging. I just wondered if anybody, I don't know, if you had any quick tips.
I just created block 28F9. I see 23 blocks on the blockchain. I see, let's see, how many peers?
I have 16 peers.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have Genesis tuple space validation failed when I trying to run the node. Any thoughts why?
How much memory, how big is your machine?
Oh, 2 giga RAM, I think.
It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Yeah. I think you need to have at least two. Yeah. I think you're having a memory issue. That the Genesis block is getting larger. That's probably what's going on. Is that you ran out of RAM when trying to validate the Genesis block.
But it's only for this new 7 version, because I have no problem with the 6.
Yeah, well, we changed the threading model a little bit and to make it a little bit more efficient, but I suspect that the memory utilization of the node has now shifted.
Okay.
It's still a work in progress.
Oh, alas. Okay. I got the error unknown, and now I'm stuck in there's another propose in progress loop. So if you've deployed to my node, see if I can get out.
So how do I get the hash of the block in step 5?
You can look at the server logs and you will see the fork choice tip message, and it's got the hash of the block there.
There's several of them, so how do I know which one?
You can pick any one because once you're bonded, you're part of the state. So your public key will appear in the tuple space. Just do show block on any one of those blocks, and you should be fine.
All right, so if you have deployed to my node, it is now appears to be broken. Wait 3 minutes. I've seen it resolve after some time, so let's give that a try. So I'm not proposing for 3 minutes.
You can propose to my node, folks. My node is okay for right now.
What's your IP meta, or where can we get it?
It's in the chat.
Okay.
Can you
thanks.
post it again? There's lots of noise there. Thank you.
Oh, I got hit with it too.
You got the unknown. Error unknown. I have to propose. Okay, bummer.
That one is a little challenging to reproduce.
Kent reproduced it last week.
So you believe they can't say it resolves after 3 minutes?
No. Well, I have experience. I've just put the link to the ticket in the window. I did experience last week being patient. It's that hard lesson of life. Did resolve it at some point, but not always. At some point, I just got stuck.
So, go ahead.
I deployed those 2 files and I don't have to propose, right?
Correct. Unfortunately, yeah, keep going.
And then how can I know the hash?
Who did you deploy to? What IP address did you deploy to?
You, Kelly.
Okay, my node is I have an error and I cannot propose. Meta has an error, but there's another IP address here in the chat window. Try and deploy to that node and see if they can propose on your behalf.
I can show all of you where to see or how to identify the bonded, that you're bonded.
Meta, how do I check for the bond amount in the block space? I can see so many nodes here.
Yeah, hold on, I'm showing you right here.
Meta, you can do Control F here too. Oh, sorry, Command F.
Yeah, use your find feature.
Yep. So right here, it's close to the top. for the tuple space here, I dare say that this, see what I'm highlighting here? So look for your primary key in this area here in the tuple space.
By primary key, you mean private key, right?
Your public key.
The public key. Sorry.
Okay.
It's early in the morning. But these are the bond amounts. 380 is one bond amount. 199, somebody bonded with 200. 514. So these 122, 647, 380.
Mother, can you put that in the chat?
Put what in the chat?
The key.
I think I can see mine on your screen.
Yeah, you can do this. I just did show block for this particular.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but I was having issues. But I can see I can see now on your screen. 499. Yeah.
So just do a search for your public key here in the block, and you'll know if you're bonded.
So I stopped and restarted my node, and I'm going to see if I can.
I cannot find that block. It means I cannot bond.
You're not bonded yet, yeah. So let's just wait a second. I am also stuck.
I got unstuck by killing my node and restarting. Now I'm trying to see if I can catch up and regain the state.
Somebody has tried to propose a block without having the full state. 31A2175 you got a justification regression?
That's me.
Okay. And it's on a side chain now. It's on a So someone needs to propose a block so Kelly gets this updated state.
There's no sharding in this version. That's correct.
Yeah, there's no sharding. I meant to say she's got an uncle. Kelly's go, Lulu. She's got block. It's block number 1. So she's starting another. It's like another side part of the DAG. Is there anyone that has a good state that can deploy propose so Kelly can get the updated state?
How do we know that?
I don't know. How do you know if you have a good state?
Yeah, that's my question.
You have the same fork choice tip. Kelly doesn't have, she had to restart her node. And so she proposed a block, but she doesn't have all the other blocks, which is why she's getting, her block says block number 1, and she's got a justification regression.
Do we know if there is anyone that is really bonded at the moment?
Yes, there's somebody else that is bonded. Paolo, can you bond? Yes. But I think people are getting stuck with unknown. The unknown error.
Now, aside seeing your name or your public key in the tuple space, is there any other way to confirm if you're bonded?
You have to look at your thing. You look at the state in the block. Okay, I'm sending you the block. Ooh, I got an exception. Call already canceled. Sorry, continue.
I said I don't understand what that means.
I'm sorry, you have to repeat your question again. There's a lot going on right now. Please repeat your question again.
Okay, what I meant is there any other way to check for bonding without checking the tuple space? That's aside checking the tuple space.
Not yet. With bonding confirmation is going to be implemented probably the next sprint.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm shutting down my node because I have another issue here.
Oh, really? I just sent the bond to your node. Guess that's probably not going to work.
Give me 1 second. Let me just restart it. I'm going to try to restart it and see what it does.
All righty.
Okay. So Kelly, can you do a deploy propose? Once you do, I should hopefully get the state from you. So those of you that okay. One second.
Hey Kelly, is your IP still the same?
Yes, her IP is the same. I'm still requesting missing blocks, so just a moment.
Bonnie.
I'm at block number 19. Kelly, how many blocks, how big is the chain right now? I got 20. How big is everyone's blockchain?
Are you talking about the block number?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm 19.
I'm at 26.
At 26?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was wrong. It says count at the bottom, and I'm also at 26. I see block number. Yeah.
Okay.
Me either. Block 26, count 1.
Okay. I'm up to, I have 14 peers. And I've got block number 20. This is the last block I got. This is the block that I have right now. Just want to make sure my state's right before I start accepting deploy propose. Okay, I think Paolo, whoever wants to try to deploy to my node, you can go ahead and do so. IP address is higher
I
up.
get your IP.
Yeah, a second. I'll put it in the chat again.
It's the 108 something.
Yeah.
100. Okay. Cool. So I should start again with the forward.
Start with the forwarder.
Success.
Great.
Guys, I have this warning, and what does it mean? Does not match triple space hash does not match computed hash. I send it to on the chat.
That sounds like a bug.
And just after this, because I was able to connect and I have communication, valid approved block received, so I think I was connected for the moment. And just after this warning, I get the information Genesis tuple space validation failed. So it might be not because the RAM, might be because of something else, maybe.
Received another deploy. Feel free to file a ticket and we can investigate it.
Okay.
I'm proposing.
Cool.
Block created and added.
Oh, great.
Here we go.
All right. Now I'm going to send over the bond.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Success.
Block created and added. So you should be able to do show blocks on that and see if you can find your public key.
Where would our public key be in show blocks?
So just go to show blocks and then grep for it. You can grep for it, or you can just do a command F in the terminal when you do show block. Sorry, do show block and the block hash that I gave you.
Ah, okay.
Ah, this one. Okay. Failure to find block.
Okay, give it a minute then. You haven't gotten the block yet, maybe.
Yeah, same here. Find block.
Is there anyone else that's bonded that can do deploy propose?
Yeah, you can deploy to my node. I'm bonded and ready to go.
I see in the logs, received a
Yikes.
request for block on the one that Meta gave, and then no response given since block not found.
So you don't have the block yet.
Ah, Jesus. I was bonded and now I'm getting the unknown bug again.
I think I'm bonded. I just did a show blocks and I see the parent hash, main hash. Actually, no.
So apparently it seems like it has something to do with other people deploying to your node, because it just, I got the unknown bug just right after I put the IP address in there and someone did a deploy to my node.
I wonder if someone, I wonder if there's a weird race condition where you're just bonded. No, Kelly and I have hit it and we didn't actually bond under this network.
Hey, Phil, can you say that one more time so that I can capture it in the ticket?
Karen, what is it?
You just described what you thought might be happening when you got the error unknown.
Yeah.
Can you say it again?
So the error unknown happened when right after I've put in my IP address so others can deploy to my node, and I received one deploy, and I got the unknown back right after I tried to propose the block. So it might be that at the same time someone was also deploying to my node when I was proposing.
Okay, so you okay, interesting.
So Phil, try to blow away your state, restart your node, and your public key is in the state. You should be able to restart your node and come back up as a bonded validator.
That's accurate. I can validate that that's true.
So I just I don't clear the data directory, or what do you?
No, clear your data directory, but you're in the state that I have, right?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
So is anyone else bonded? Or is the issue now that you guys don't have the blocks, so therefore your validators your nodes don't know that you're bonded?
I'm bonded. I am still trying to catch up onto, I see 11 blocks.
Okay.
I guess I could try a deploy.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I never got your block. Still waiting.
Okay. Flow limit, lots of zeros, flow price 1. Okay, I proposed a block. And I've got a lot of people asking for blocks, and I'm sending blocks. So let me know if your node is now requesting receiving blocks.
Kelly's node is requesting.
F1218A, IP address, I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's requesting.
What's surprising to me is if I'm interested in joining as a validator, it's unclear. I guess let me say it differently. If I know that I'm already a validator and I kill my node and rejoin, how do you know when it's safe to attempt to deploy and propose? Like, how do you know when you have the state of the blockchain?
It's a really good question. There really isn't a good way because each node has its own view of the blockchain and it's slightly different.
Right, so there's really no point that I can know that it's appropriate for me to do a deploy and a propose without creating a bastard uncle situation.
Well, it's an uncle, but what should happen arguably is the transactions that don't make it into the main chain, the node will repropose them until it does make it into the node chain, into the main chain. That's a feature that's in the backlog. There's that, and then there's also a feature in the backlog where you can ask another validating node for the state. Like, just give me your whole tuple space state.
So when we roll this out next week in testnet, I'm trying to anticipate all of the challenges people are going to have figuring out, number one, if they're bonded, or then if they come back on when it's when they have the state so that they can participate again.
Meta, I just deploy my bond to your node.
Yes, and I proposed it.
Okay.
And I received a request for a lot of blocks as a result of it. And my node is sending those blocks out. The block that I created and added is here. So this is the block you want.
Are you also on block 26, Meta?
Let me see here. Let me look and see where I did.
I got to find blocks.
Would it make sense to restart the node?
I'm on
Like
block
cleaning
20,
everything.
I'm on block 23. You can absolutely restart the node, and then I'll keep deploying and proposing, and your node will catch up to the state.
Okay.
I cannot show that block.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is anyone else bonded?
I don't think I am, actually.
Now, Meta, the reason I was asking the previous question is because when I checked show block on any newer blocks, I get different answers, and I don't get to see my public key. So that was why I wanted to know if there's another way to check for.
I wonder if I have my own very private blockchain that nobody else
I think
has,
you
which
do.
could be.
We
Which
can't
could
see
be.
it.
Which could be. But I am sending the blocks out.
Yeah, I just don't think we're looking at the same.
When I checked the most recent blocks you have, it says unable to find block hash.
Okay, so I restarted, generated again the bondings, deploys. I redeployed to Meta, and it says success. But isn't maybe some time that I should wait before doing those to catch up with the state? Just thought.
Yeah, just no, you can deploy. So yeah, I'm not seeing. So initially I'll share my screen.
I see some Elojo in the logs.
So here you'll see at the beginning, the earlier blocks. I think, Kelly, this is when you and I were both on the network. Block 6, I see the click safety at -51. Block 7, block 8. And then I see click safety go to -63, 0.63, 0.64, and then it went to -1, which gives me the feeling that I'm the only node proposing and deploying at this point.
Can you propose again, please?
Sorry, what does fault tolerance mean?
Fault tolerance means that the amount of bond on the network that is behind the block. So this means that probably of all the bonded validators, only a few of them have built blocks on top of this block. So what I need is somebody else to build on these blocks.
I'm trying. Can you, you propose?
Yep, I did.
Thank you.
Proposed.
I'll try to deploy and propose a few blocks.
Do you have
I'm
the
now
state?
on
Do you have
20?
Yep, perfect. Go for it. So, yeah, there we go.
So I see a new fork choice. Was that someone who was trying to propose? And do they just create their own blockchain?
Yep. A fork choice is when the system decides the block with the greatest weight. So that's what consensus does, is on a DAG. Show blocks will show you, yeah, it'll only show the newest block. And if you want to see more blocks, add the D-D and then like a number where depth, that's a depth.
Can you propose again?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
when I'm trying to bond myself, I should be using some others node, correct?
Yes.
Which one should I use?
You can use mine, or I think Kelly. Phil, are you back up and healthy? I think Phil's trying to bond right now.
Yeah, I'm still bond.
No, I am bonded, and the problem is I deployed and tried to propose, but I've got an error, a response failure, invalid block, invalid unslashable block.
That means your node doesn't have a state. So you may have bonded, but you got to get the blocks for me. Did you get all the blocks?
How would you know?
Yeah, it might be. I guess the bonding process and the bonding block was after it. So yeah.
Did you look in the tuple space for your public key? So find.
I've seen my public key in your dump of the tuple space before, and also I was able to propose earlier. But then the unknown errors strike me.
Okay.
So
Hold on, Ben. Our node show block. I received a block from Kelly. I think that's you.
What number is it?
That one.
I can't see it. Can you tell me?
Sorry, I put it on the chat.
Oh, no, I don't have that one.
Okay, someone sent a block out.
That was me, Meta.
Oh, great. Okay. So did you bond, Tom, or do you have...
Yep, I bond it.
Okay, so Phil, put your public key in the chat. If you guys want me to look up your public key, put it in the chat, and then I can look it up right here. I'm sharing my screen.
Che è successo?
That's so weird.
Okay, Will, I'm looking right now. There you are. There's your public key.
So I'm bonded.
Yeah, let's see here. Bonding out. Transfer out, success. Yeah, you're bonded. You bonded for $200, 200?
Okay, so, but I cannot show the block you provided. The
Yeah,
block.
that's the challenge. Yeah, you don't have the block yet, but you're in my blockchain. You're there.
Okay.
Okay, I have some more deploys here. Okay, let me open up a new window. Let me just do a propose here.
Once I've deployed the contract to, I think it was Kelly's address, should she manually now propose for it to go through?
Yes.
Except I cannot. I have all kinds of challenges that I'm trying to capture as bugs.
Okay, Paolo, I'm looking for your here. There's the transfer, 597.
Yep.
There you go. I see you right here. All you guys need to do is get my blocks.
So listen to this. I can see on the console that I've received a block. But when I try and request our node to show the block with that hash, I get a failure to find the block.
That's interesting. So in your console, you.
Yeah, the console, I see it. I see it says received block, and it says it multiple times, like I see it. But when I go and ask to show the block by that hash, I get error, failure to find block.
You're sure? Did you clear your console after you started your node? You sure?
I'm sure.
That's a bug. You should be able to show that block with the hash. It's definitely a problem.
Because it was a block you just proposed. It was that B91 block.
That's definitely a problem.
Is it? 1443, yeah.
So the 0.7 is the version where we have the name registry now implemented.
We have the registry implemented. It still needs some work, but you should be able to register with private keys. Yes.
Nice, I will try.
Phil, I can't find your public key here. It's not here. So go send your bonding request again.
That is somewhat strange because I was bonded earlier, but it might be that. Yeah,
It might be that the reproposing of orphan transactions is not actually working, or the redeploying of them. So I'd like to file a ticket for this if we can. So if you could file a bug, if you happen to have the information, because I'm not seeing it come through. There's a block.
I mean, I was bonded earlier, and my node also recognized it.
Yes.
So
I know my state died. Kelly's state died, and so did yours, right? Didn't all three of us get hit with the unknown bug?
Yeah, that's true.
And so it might be that the entire blockchain state got blown away. Or a big chunk of it.
Really a bug in itself, but it's just a matter of that the status isn't persistent yet.
Agreed.
Yep.
All right, so bond again, I guess.
I'm about to bond to Meta real quick before she does that.
Yeah, that's just bizarre.
The show blocks is incrementing now, but isn't a way to say that at certain block we have enough for the state to be bounded or not?
Correct.
The best way is to look in the block and see if you can find your public key. That's the best way. And if you have that
I should try with the last one that I have. I have 20 now.
Yes, exactly. Check the last one. Because the list of bonded validators appears in every block. Right? It'll be in the tuple space hash.
Yeah, it seems the grep does something. If I run the show block with the last one and grab my key, I get something.
Yeah, you should see it appear a couple of times, and you'll see the number of your bond that you specified when you ran the bonding helper from the faucet. At the very beginning, you specified an amount. You'll see that number -1.
My block stopped glowing. It's always staying 10. I don't know why is that.
So we are about 10 minutes to the top of the hour. want to make sure if you've observed something that's odd that is not the error unknown or the you saw a block on the console but couldn't show it, please take a moment and file a ticket.
Sean, I see you have bonded for 10 token. Is that your request? When you initially set up your bonding?
Thanks a lot for checking that.
Yep, so you're bonded. According to my node, you're bonded. I don't know if you have that state.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Has anyone else been able to bond successfully and have the block?
Mine grew. Can you check, see if my key is on there? Because I just had a huge jump from 15 to 34, so.
Oh, that's good. It's best if you check on your node though, right? Because checking on my node means my node thinks you're bonded, but it's important that your node think you're bonded.
And what block is on the screen? I can barely see C36.
Yeah, hold on. This is, okay, so here I see the bonding request, but not the actual bonding confirmation, but that's the last block. Let's see here.
Did anyone file those 2 bugs that Kelly just mentioned? Can we get links?
I did, yeah. Here's the link to the what does it mean when I can't see a block, when I see a block one place and can't look at it. And then the error unknown is here. It's just adding to comments of the same thing we observed last week.
Thanks, Kelly.
You're welcome.
So all I see is the forwarding request for the person who asked me to take a look, Jeremy. So you have to send the bonding request.
Oh, I thought I already did. I'll send it again.
Send it one more time. I don't see the actual wallet transfer happening.
All right, I just sent it.
Can I ask some off-topic question?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm working on a project in Rolang, and I'm wondering if there any way to get information about time or block number, timestamp maybe, something like this.
Time on the blockchain is going to be implemented this sprint in order to support unbonding, but it will not be very fine-grained. It will probably, because there's this problem, right, with time zones.
Yeah. So at this moment, there's no reference to time, even if it's block number or timestamp.
We have the concept of block number, but and I think that there are timestamps in the blocks themselves, but we are going to expose that in Rolang.
Okay, so at this moment, it's not available.
Yeah. Now the time we're going to implement is wall clock time. The block number is available right now. Like you can see in this block, there's a block number 35.
But can I?
That's not in Rolang though, right? I can't get 35 in Rolang.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, Paolo's bonded. Good.
Yeah. And this one, look at that. So should I give my IP to?
Sure. Yeah. Pop it in the thing and then in the chat and see if people can watch you. It's great. And so you proposed, you deployed and proposed. This is the one that I sent.
Another question.
This is your block here. Okay, go ahead.
Can I do exactly what we doing here on my local network, for example, if I have like a couple of nodes, or
Absolutely.
your node is special?
Absolutely. No, absolutely you can. So you want to start a bootstrap with the option -- has, this is 2 dashes, -- has faucet.
I think Kent documented this. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. I'm putting a link in the chat window. This is Kent, and it may not be, it's a rough draft, but this is what Kent was working off of yesterday.
Okay, thank you very much.
Kyle, whoever you deployed to, you can either run rnode show blocks and see if you can, whatever block it shows you, you can look in that block hash to see if you're there, or you can talk to the person that you deployed to.
Is anybody else capable of proposing?
Yes, I am. Paolo is also capable of proposing. He put his IP address in the chat.
That was me.
Oh. It's early in the morning for me.
But can you try to deploy this one since I deployed the voting contract?
Oh, sure. I mean, you can deploy it to my node if you wish.
All right, right.
Or you can vote it. Yeah, deploy it to my node and then I can propose.
Do that.
What's your address?
Mine is, it is in the chat. You have to scroll up.
Long time ago.
Yeah, hold on.
I joined late, so cannot
yeah.
see everything.
Yeah.
Another challenge of state catch-up.
I'm pretty sure that I'm bonded because I was able to show. So when I tried to deploy a contract, I received a invalid block. Invalid unslashable block, that is.
Matt, I deployed to your node.
Okay. Here we go. Already voted.
Yeah, no, that's voting twice.
That's like a Chicago voter.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. I like to see voting on the blockchain with November around the corner. Us here in the United States.
Yeah, we're almost there.
All right.
So Kelly, for me, the fact of that I was blocked in the block number, I just had to restart the node.
Okay, let me give that another go. Did you clear your data directory when you did that?
Yeah, I removed everything and restarted, and then I quickly recovered the blocks. Actually, faster than before.
Let me give that a try. Oops. Oh, that worked. Oh.
So has anybody else been able to bond and like by recently getting the blockchain state? I'm getting lots of requests for blocks. And I'm sending them.
All right, can somebody propose, please?
I can deploy propose.
Yeah, let me tell in the vote.
Here Here I go, Kelly.
Thank you. All right, it says I received block 29. Let me see if I can show it. Is it? Huh. All right. So I killed my node. I cleared the data directory. I restarted it, rejoined the network, clearly rejoined the network. Meta, you did a deploy and propose that I saw, which queued a lot of requests for blocks that I used to have and no longer have. And then I also saw receipt of blocks, like I saw receipt of block 29 and 30 and 28 and 12. So I see them, but when I try and do show block with any of those hashes, I get a failure to find block with that hash, even though
That's
on
really
the console
strange.
it's receipt.
That's really strange. You should file a bug for
Same
that.
for me.
Yeah,
Same
I
for
did
me.
file a bug. It's if you are also experiencing this fun experience, here is a link. Please update that ticket with your log and whatever else you observed.
So what happens when you do show blocks, like of the whole thing?
Right now, so I can see on the console that I've received blocks 30 through 12 going and down, but when I type in show blocks, I only see block 0, which is the block of the approved block that I received when I joined.
When you do depth, did you do dash D10? And does it show you dash D10?
Dash D10. Oops. Oh, so many. Okay, here, dumb question. Does the dash D go before or after our node show blocks?
After, it's a parameter.
Okay.
Do show blocks dash D and then 10, and no space between the D and the 10.
Ah, I got an excessive argument. Okay, perfect.
I have a curiosity. So last time somebody told me that if you deploy a contract, but then somehow you see that you have made an error or something, and you don't want to propose that block, you're stuck there because you cannot, undo the deploy and deploy something else.
Correct.
Right. But if I have that problem, I could actually destroy my node completely, reconnect with the same keys, and do the right deploy and then propose, right? In principle.
In principle, there are some features that need to be added, right? Like to allow the validators. Yeah, I mean, in principle, a user shouldn't be able to DOS out your node with bad rolling or sending a bunch of rolling to your node that takes it out from a computational perspective, because that should be also expensive.
Okay.
If that's what you're saying in terms of not wanting to run it.
No, it's maybe you deployed something that it's correct and rolling, but does contain some errors or does not actually what you think it does. So you understand that and you want to get back and undo the deploy.
Right.
It seems like at the current state it's impossible, but At least if you can destroy the node and use the same key to get back to the same state, basically it's like resetting it. So you could do a new deploy with the current version.
I mean, as it stands for now, you're just deploying to your tuple space. You're not sending around this deploy. And I assume that in the later release, we will have that deploys will propagate like other messages in the peer-to-peer network. At least that's reasonable in my opinion. And
talking about
then
gossiping
it's
the
just
deploys instead of gossiping the blocks.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm not sure we're going to do that, but yeah, I mean, arguably one could say we would do that.
And then it's just like sending out sending out a transaction in the Ethereum or Bitcoin network. It is a valid transaction, and you can't unsend such a transaction. But
so you really need to know what you're doing. Let's say.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that it does this deploy and then propose. You know, it's like two actions. So it seems like the
yeah, I
first
mean the
one
propose
really
is
definitive, but
in the RChain world, the propose is similar to a miner creating a block, whereas deploy is similar to sending out a transaction.
I get it. Yes.
So the miner then includes the transaction into a pending block. And if a miner is lucky enough, he can create a block. And in this Casper TFG, everyone who's a validator is allowed to propose a block.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
All right. So you have to be careful with deploy. I mean,
yeah.
Well, that's the thing with the blockchain, right? It's immutable. So whatever you put on the blockchain state is on the blockchain state.
Sure.
We will be offering some kind of garbage collection, but not immediately. So in future, there'll be a way for things to be garbage collected out of the blockchain state, but that's not the way it works right now. So yes, when you deploy something to the blockchain, you want to make sure it's right because it'll be there forever.
Cool.
All right, we are at the top of the hour, actually 5 minutes past. So we're going to wrap up this session. If you observed things or had questions about things, please do file a bug. We will also do the same on our end. I only see two things that we've captured today. We do plan to we plan to release Node 7 later this week. We also plan to update the testnet with Node 7 next Monday. If you are one of the people who helped launch and validate the first version of the testnet during RCon 3, please look for information in the testnet validators channel about next steps related to validating, for relaunching the testnet starting next Monday. We look forward to trying to do that in an asynchronous way as a bit of a practice. And we look forward to doing testing here again next week. Thanks so much for your time, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.